I guess we go to recess, so does the all.
Oh, we're already back
We're
in
good.
session. I don't know
We're
what
good.
cameras are doing, but we're back in
good.
session. Okay, now Alice, you have, what else for us? Okay.
Just the superintendent bonus, monthly bonus. That policy that I handed you guys to read over.
Did you wanna look at it more?
No, I'm okay with it.
I guess I'm in favor of it. The time he's been putting in extra and not getting paid for, right now, yesterday when I was up to look at the shop, because of that office area being tore apart, we looked at it and Dean's getting almost as much with overtime as Kenny's getting and without the responsibility. And so I think we definitely need to compensate him something for that.
Any other discussion? I agree, and if we do have it, then the policy may be reviewed or revised at any time upon Commissioner's action, and we appreciate the extra time you put in, Kenny, for that, so.
So do we need a motion to approve
Yeah,
that policy?
yeah, we'll need a
I'll make
motion.
that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Kenny.
Approved.
I'm mistaken, there was one more thing, the janitor position. That one, it was tabled from last meeting. That was put underneath my portion. So we were looking at, computers are locked down now, she's no longer on computers. Hours wise, what are your guys' thoughts? I don't know if it's a full-time position or,
I was a janitor at the school
Well,
for 2
somebody
years.
made some recommendations on this?
Well, I guess, looking at it, I guess, I'm just curious why we need that many hours.
How many is it?
They get 20 a month, a week.
It used to be 20, including all the outside work. Now it's just 20 inside.
And that doesn't include windows or nothing.
So do you have recommendations, either one of you?
10 a week?
I guess I'd be okay with that. 20 seems pretty excessive for small as a courthouse is. So I'd be in game for 10 hours a week. I mean, it's hurting the employee, but I'm not sure what we're all doing for 4 hours a night. You know, the courthouse doesn't get that dirty. Right now, I think when janitor does take off, the employees all take their own garbage out. I don't know about you guys, but I'm assuming you guys do. So they could continue taking their own garbage out, for that matter. I don't think I've heard anybody against it. And then if mud gets dragged in, it doesn't take much to grab vacuum. Is there 2 vacuum cleaners? Does anybody know?
I think there was 2. One of them kind of went kaput last year. It still was kind of workable, but we had to get a different one because it wasn't doing what it was supposed
So
to.
we have 2.
But there's access to the one. I mean, everybody can get access to the vacuum cleaner if they need it.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion then to decrease the hours for the courthouse janitor and still remain with the same duties and reduce the hours, recommending from 20 hours to 10 hours. Did I hear a motion to that effect?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Is there further discussion on this? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approved.
I think that's all I had.
Thank you.
That's all you have, Alice?
I think so.
We have, oh, maybe you better hang in here. We have
Okay.
Kenny coming up because Kenny wants to talk about his new hire discussion.
Oh, that's right, I forgot about that.
And I know we supposedly we're supposed to have rules on hiring here that maybe we haven't followed.
They just get a yelling from,
I guess we can start with that one right away. The new hire we're looking at, I've been talking with Marv, and he wants to retire this spring. I just talked to him again this morning to confirm it, and he's hoping to start with the retirement process end of March, first part of April. So I would like to, we're still down full-time. We never did fill, well, back then it would have been Dean Pfeiffer's spot. We never did fill that spot. But what I would like to do is hire one of our temps full-time to get him trained in on the blade and stuff. So when Marv retires, he's ready to go. So, and I'm trying to talk.
You do have a temporary that's willing to,
Yeah, and that's because I talked to Dennis Beckman, and he's talking about getting closer to retiring also, so he wasn't interested in it. The other person we have that, as a temporary right now is Courtney Shute, with stipulations that by spring he has a CDL, and he needs to get with Rick's office and go through about getting certified to spray. So we have that also.
When Kenny approached me, I thought this was a good idea of getting him trained in with Marvin on, is still here. So Marvin can take him out, show him what roads he works on, get some training from Marvin. I think it would just be a really good idea to get Courtney that training while Marvin is still here.
how many blade operators, Daryl still operating?
No, he was just temp.
Okay,
Yep.
he's not going to, is he gonna remain temp?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just kinda curious.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and he said depending on how he feels in the spring will depend whether he decides to come back next year. So,
I guess when we talk about it, it's no different in the sheriff's department. If somebody retires, or I don't know what Dave's plan is come next year election, if he's gonna run, but it'd be the same boat, getting somebody ready, you know? And anybody can quit anytime, because they have in the past. And so I guess, I'm in favor of it, but I'm also in favor of, definitely addressing the new deputy also, down next meeting.
and I like here too, I'm trying to work on, cause Marv is possibly interested in coming back for summer months as a temp, depending on if his retirement allows it. So if we did that, the person that would be running his route in the wintertime would become a gravel hauler for the summer.
Marv would go back to the blade.
Yeah, cause Marv don't have a CDL and doesn't
No
want one.
interested.
Yeah, so, but that way we'd still have a gravel hauler versus blade operator. So that both of them would be covered.
I think it's just great succession planning and preparing for what's coming up.
Problem is, do we have gravel?
That I can't help you with.
We got a couple more people that we got access come spring now to go test, so.
Okay.
And you would start Courtney at the level of an operator wage. You would start him lower.
I would start to what he's currently making now
Okay.
until he got his certifications. And then we'd go up a buck.
Through probation, basically.
Yep. So I think he's at 28 right now.
I think so.
So he'd go to 29 after this stuff would be completed.
I know, I'd definitely go along with your recommendations here.
I'd support that, Kenny.
I'll make that motion then.
And then we have to do anything as far as,
No, we'll
since
just,
he's being,
well, yeah, because he'll get full benefits then. Since,
Right.
Yeah, we'll get together and.
yeah. But I mean, since it's being hired within, do we have to advertise? Or I just want to make sure we're.
No, because you went and spoke to all the temporaries
Okay.
first, so you're good.
I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor?
I
Aye.
Okay, we've got that part taken care of. Okay, what else you got, Kenny?
Just the office that we talked about earlier. So we went to paint the office, pulled the wallpaper off, and it was black. I mean, it was-
saw pictures.
Yeah, I don't have my phone on me
You saw the
otherwise.
pictures?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
So we ended up taking the wall down, took the insulation out. We went down this morning and got everything to do it. And then the guy that has been working, putting on the lights and stuff, inside and outside, he's gonna come next week and fix the main wiring that goes into the office because that was a mess. So we can run it, we can run all the wires, put the boxes, he'll inspect it, and then he'll do his thing and final hook it up.
Good.
They had to even replace the 2x on the floor.
So it was rotten.
The sill is rotted out. There's literally daylight in between the tin and the where it screws to the frame.
And then where the window was, outside, I went to push on it and moved.
Well, it's literally there's no frame. The frame is screwed to the tin. That's how that window's there.
Who put that in?
I'm assuming way back before Francis, the way it sounds.
But we just had that building re-tinned 3 years ago and they didn't
Nobody
fix
said
it.
nothing.
And then the wiring,
Well, you've had enough wiring issues
Yeah.
down there.
So, but other than that, it's pretty well. The only other thing I brought up yesterday is a tire cage for when we're fixing tires or mounting blade or semi tires. We had a small 3-bar, which is not compliant anymore.
One on the pickup.
Yep. We need to go to a 5, I think it's a 5 now, to cover the motor grader and the semi tires and all that stuff, since we do them in house. And they're like anywhere from 15, top end is $2,000, but it looks like anywhere from right around 1,500 we can get one. But it's got to be mounted to the floor.
Really?
Yep, they got to be fastened to the floor.
I suppose if a tire lets go, you don't want the
Cage to let loose.
cage going with it.
Yep.
I guess I'm in favor of both of them, but
So it's just
do we need
safety.
to approve it, or is that just something under his
It
budget?
comes out of your budget,
Yeah.
so.
And then we got
Run it
the
in there,
oil
so-
tanks and we're getting a stand built for that.
Yeah, we don't need motion on that.
Other than that, that's all I got.
Okay, thanks, Ken.
Yep.
Okay, we've completed everything above other business. We have liquor beer licenses for the fair board and the golf course.
And I did get the updated ones, the golf course, the liquor license. The highlighted part is what Patrick told me needed to be updated, and then the fair board's updated one is right here.
So it was done already? Updated?
Yeah, so Mark filled out the orange highlighted areas that needed to be updated on the liquor license, and it didn't look like there was anything on the beer license that needed to be fixed on the golf courses.
Okay, you have the one for the,
Yeah, this is
Fair board.
fair board.
well, it's for the fair board one. Okay, I just glancing through this one. Is Patrick on here?
He was earlier.
Patrick should be
you still
here.
there?
Oh, okay. So Patrick, you looked through the licenses and made recommendations, and it looked like they've followed the recommendations, and we should be okay to approve the beer license and okay, good. That's we better keep them separate. Could I hear a motion for improvement of the liquor license for the fair board?
So moved.
Beer license.
Oh, for the,
Beer license for the fair.
for the, okay, for the golf course.
Liquors for the golf course.
Liquors for the golf course, or that one, or
That
you
one.
made a motion to approve the one for the golf course.
Yep.
Okay, I'll second it.
Hold on.
Liquor for the golf course.
Okay.
All right.
Because we just did fair. You just said fair board, and now we're
Yeah,
Yeah, back up.
okay.
Yeah, because I'm holding one of here and they're holding the other one, and
Okay.
that's the one they voted on.
that was the all
Liquor.
that screwed up.
Liquor license
For
for
the
the golf
golf
course. Okay, thank you.
And beer.
And beer?
They have a liquor and a beer
Yeah,
license,
it's all for us,
so there should be both of them there.
Oh,
Okay, the motion was to approve the license
both
for
of
the
them, both of
golf
them for
course.
the golf course.
Both,
Yes.
okay.
And we had a second to it.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on it? Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Okay, now I have the beer license for the fair board. And, that one looks like no changes.
Are the dates on here for the fair?
Yes.
Okay.
The dates weren't in question. There was, I think it was number 8. I changed
There
from
was
a
a
yes to
question
a
on
no. And
number
then about establishment date, we went back and we found out, I didn't know exactly what the question was. We did go back and found out when the establishment date of the fair was, and we put that in there. So those were the two items in question.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the fair board
Beer license.
beer license.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, approved.
Thanks for waiting around.
Well, I know the last meeting you guys asked them to be here, so I told them to be here, so. And
Up there.
I'll get the actual licenses filled out and given to whoever, not right now.
Okay, as long as we have Patrick on there, in our other business, Patrick, Westlaw quote for state's attorney office. Can you talk to us about that?
I put the quote in your. It looks like this. They have a copy of the quote, Patrick, so I'll just get them to, yep.
So, it was a.
Yes? you can.
Yes, yep.
Now, you might have said this, but, so this is statewide? Yes.
What are we paying for the system we're using today?
We don't have it.
Any other questions?
Probably a good deal, right?
I would think it's something.
$543.96.
That's per month.
Oh, okay, it says year one charges, okay.
Yeah, per billing frequency, and at the end there, it says billing frequency is monthly.
So it'd be about, what, 62,000 a year?
6,200
$6,200 a year.
for the
For
first
200?
year.
They're doing it, yeah. I would think. I would guess we should probably go along with to
So if we go jump into it, we can drop it in a year if we don't find it valuable or whatever?
It looks like it's a 36-month term. Just looking at the first
Yeah,
page.
it says, we'll automatically renew at the end of the minimum term for successive 12-month renewal terms. I think that'd be good,
That'd be okay.
if you wanna check that out.
What?
Okay, you'll have the answer for us with July or January 13th? Right? Okay, good enough. We'll put it on hold till then.
Let's go, yep.
Okay, thanks, Patrick. Okay, let's go to Scoria agreement. That's also here.
Okay,
Same as last year.
there's a
Yeah, so
copy in there.
I
for you
did
guys
call
to look at.
Nathan yesterday, talked to him about it, asking if he'd drop it, but, he wants to stick with that $400 a truckload. And I guess we don't have a lot of other options, so,
Do we have other options?
I would like to say, Nathan's been good to us. So, kind of first option, but it would also be nice to find options a little further west. So we don't have quite so far. I don't know, the one that bought the Weber farm out here. He's got a big Scorio pit. I had asked him, as far as it went. cause he was trying to ask pay and stuff like that is too, so there's that option also. I don't know how much is still there out of Nathan's. I mean, it's getting down there. I mean, there's other people that were using it also, so,
And then wasn't there a pit out by the Booble Road also,
yes.
on the
yes.
west side?
I know Next Era had got some stuff out of there, or somebody during the wind towers had got some out of there. Thinking that would be somebody we'd have to go through, like Mark Albers or something, I believe. Something we could check into.
Okay. And it's a year by year renewal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we
it's
should probably go
every-
along with this and
every year
we'll
we
do some checking. Maybe B and I will run into a whole bunch they need to get rid of.
Yep.
Well, and it's only based on if we get a load. We pay the $400 per load if we get.
If we use it.
It's not like we have to pay them X amount every year.
Right.
Good. I'll make that motion to renew this for another year, the Scoria agreement.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approved.
I'll just need you to sign that one page so I can get Nathan to come in and sign the other one,
What is it?
please.
So, okay, what you get the same one there? Okay, we're gonna discuss Next Era donation.
I got the check. It showed up. It was here on Friday, but it came certified, and since we weren't open, I didn't get it till yesterday. The reason I have it on the agenda is because I need to know where we're putting this money. I can't just give it to the treasurer's office to deposit it into the account without knowing which fund it's going into. So,
It was to, for the 2 patrol cars and the skid steer.
Right.
that was the intent.
Of the
but
donation.
We do not
That's
have
already
to
paid for.
necessarily. Yeah, they've already been paid for. The 2 vehicles and the skid steer have been paid for.
Skid
And
steer does not.
No, skid steer is not. We did a.
we did the, yeah,
Payment.
so we
The
did the
one-year
one-time
lease.
payment and then the
Yeah.
final payout next year. Yes,
So
but
we paid off.
Can we put it in the general fund?
yes, I mean, I can put it into general miscellaneous, or I can put it into our random fund until we decide what we want to use it for. We can split it between general fund or county road. I literally just need to know where to put it, because I can't just give it to the treasurer's office to deposit without telling them where it needs to go.
I like the miscellaneous.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Have a fund just for that, and then we'd keep track of where the money
Well,
went.
that's what our random fund is for.
Yep.
We have a random fund where when donations come in, we put it in there, and then Linda has a very detailed ledger as to this is where the money came from, this is how much, this is what we've spent it on. We write a check out of there. If we want to put it into the random fund, that's what we can do. I just needed to know, considering we did already pay for the sheriff's vehicles, if we needed to put some.
How much is it?
It's $250,000. And if we put it into the random fund, that's fine until we figure out what we want to do with it from there. I don't, it's just, we need to make sure we keep detailed notes of where this is and why and whatnot, so
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
that's
And
an
if we have to
option.
add a
And we
deputy or
did
scales or
create,
anything, we could add.
we did create a special fund for sheriff's vehicles. It's just called Sheriff's Vehicles Fund, and we have the money from the fundraiser, and then I think there was a BNI donation
I
that
think
came
B and I
in.
donated some
And we
too.
just put it in there so we know that that's specifically for sheriff's vehicles and equipment that goes with the vehicles. So if we need to put some in there or just leave it in random, you guys have to just tell me what you would like to do. So that's the only reason I put it on the agenda.
Okay, we need a motion
I
Or
don't
did
need
we
a
make a
motion.
motion? We don't
No,
need a
We don't
motion?
need a motion.
Okay,
I just
okay,
need to be
okay.
told where to put it, so.
Okay, okay,
If the
good.
random fund is good, that's what we'll do.
Okay, B and I, Renton County findings from overpass approval.
That's you.
Yeah, so I guess I sent you three gentlemen an email about 3 weeks ago, from a request from the PSC that we had. So part of in the admin code for North Golden, specifically for the PSC around road closures or road modifications for mining purposes. They say part of it is not only a vote, but then also written findings of why you voted the way you did. They provided me an example from Morton County, and that is what I provided you guys, was basically my draft of what one that was done in Morton County. The admin code says the road authority can write that written findings. If they do not provide a written findings, then that's something the PSC will do during our permit process. So this is kind of giving you guys a chance to provide your written findings. I talked with Dave prior to sending you guys that email. He did say if you want to draft something, then you guys could take it from there. So that I sent you when I drafted. If you guys have comments, questions, if you guys want to change it, that's your written findings to make. But I at least was going to give you a template of kind of a starting spot.
So I guess, when I was talking to Jim way back, Jackson with Moore, the idea was, and I shared this with Greg, I just like it if something's really big going on that, if they're also going through more engineering, that the engineer would come out and inspect at least once a week, which I don't, he kinda has it, but it doesn't really thoroughly say, but it does say the commission can request it. But how are we gonna know when to have it requested? So, my view would be, the road superintendent should be involved in this. And then, if something comes up, they can, stay in Tom with Tom or Jim and myself and Kenny or whatever. And, you know, if it comes down to if they hit water or something, something has to change, that the engineer could be called out, cause the engineer won't be on site every day.
Yeah, so what Dave is referring to is the overpass agreement. The document that we provided to is kind of like an extra, I like saying it's like our surety. Like, this is the things that we're gonna go and do. You know, we're gonna put some financial backing behind this. We'll put stuff in there like, project milestones, like here's a for sure check-in point when this is done, make sure everybody's, and it's like, that's when the road superintendent would come in on these project milestones. The other thing that Dave is referring to is in there, and where he's saying it is a little vague, is what it says is the county has the right to inspect any time. If they don't feel like any of the commissioners or the road superintendent has enough knowledge, because it's maybe something really detailed, like he says about an engineer, the county has the right to hire somebody, and B&I will reimburse for that. The other thing that Dave is hitting on, and now, I can't say with 100% certainty, but I can say with 99%, is we're likely contracting more engineering to be our oversight, kind of like the general on this. They're not the ones that are actually gonna be building the bridge, but they're gonna kind of be our general overseeing this. They're the ones that put the bid documents together. So we'll have somebody on site. They'll do daily logs. I think we could either easily work on whether it's every week, every 2 weeks, some sort of summary of those daily logs, then that could be easily provided. And I still want to say that on top of that, if you guys aren't happy with something on that, you guys still have the right to still hire somebody and then send us the bill basically for it. We will reimburse you for that.
And then one part of it I'd like to have added, and it kind of says that we get a weekly or bi-weekly report from the engineer after they come out, so we know what's going on. Right now, things have changed in the last several months, where B&I comes to every meeting. There for 3 years, we saw them once a year maybe. So if you continue to come like you are, which we very much appreciate, that makes a difference too. Now we get questions answered instead of having
We're here to take questions rather than you have to track us down.
Yep. So otherwise, I'm in favor of it. I'd just like a report from the engineer whenever they have to come out and do an inspection, which should probably be at least once every 2 weeks for sure. If you have no problem with that, Greg?
Yeah, and I think, that point that you're talking to a little bit, have the findings in there. I think if you want to include that in the findings, that's fine. I think another spot that maybe we could incorporate that easier is into that overpass agreement document. I'd love it, but if you want to put it in the findings, I'm not going to argue that, but I would gladly put, that overpass agreement document is editable.
Right.
So I'd gladly edit that.
That's where I'd like it.
Get everybody new copies.
Yep.
So that's
I'd be
something
good
we
with
can
that.
bring. I could bring that to like the next commission meeting with, just something that, I'd probably propose it at a frequency of 2 weeks, and then something of, if deemed more frequent by requested commissioners, then we could change. Something like that is what I'd probably propose. And it'd just be I propose to be a written, whether it's an email or a letter, going to you 3 commissioners and the road superintendent, how I, makes sense to me.
Yep,
Okay.
I'd be good with that. Yep. Thank you.
Anything else, Greg? Good.
I guess it'd be,
Alright.
if you guys appreciate, if you guys want to make findings of those ones, I'd appreciate whether you're going to move forward with doing findings or not, so then I can, right now I'm holding my permit, I haven't went back to the PSC, I have like addressing deficiency, so if you guys don't want to make these findings, okay with that, but then I'm going to just let the PSC know that's how it's going to proceed. If you guys want to make findings, then I'll let them know, hey, I am going to have findings for you, so one way I'm going to move my permit forward, so I'm just looking for a path of which way you guys would like to move on that.
Well, the only call I've had on that is the easement, which we talked about probably 2 months ago or 3 months ago
Yeah.
with one landowner. I'd just like to see that be taken care of or something.
Yeah, the 2 landowners that that will have work outside the right of way have both been offered voluntary easements if they would like to sign them. Again, it's not required, not needed, but if they would like to sign a voluntary easement, it has been offered to them.
Okay. (2025) 2. Transfer review and approval.
You need a motion on that, Craig?
Yeah, it'd be if you guys want to approve those findings, and if you want to do the ones that I
That's the one
provided, or
there?
if you want to come up with your own, that's
Okay.
up to you
Do
guys.
you
Or if
have
you
a-
don't want to take an action, also not taking action is also
Do you
fine.
have a list?
Yeah, I was emailed to them.
Okay, I need a copy of that, please.
Yeah, I think-
Because if we're approving something, I need to know what to put in the minutes. Otherwise, I have nothing and our minutes are pointless.
So how do we go about with the 2 landowners you're talking about? Because that's part of the findings, right? If they don't sign the easements, how do we proceed with that?
So we have the right to build this right now based on the leases that we hold.
They're still voluntary easements.
So what we are offering is a voluntary easement to these people on top of it for compensation. We have a legal lease to operate.
So if they're taking it legally, say if they're taking it to an attorney, where does that put us as a county? I don't want to put us in a bind that we say, go ahead and do it. And then it goes to a court. They find out that it isn't legal. You know what I mean?
And that is however you guys want to.
That's a legal question,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, that's, we have a legal opinion that we have the right to act to this.
That'd be Patrick.
Patrick, is that something you want to look into by the next meeting? I can forward you my copy.
Well, I guess, say if the 2 landowners don't sign the voluntary easement and they still, what's the wording I want to look for? They're still challenging it with an attorney and then it goes to court. And then say the court rules with the 2 landowners instead of B&I, where does that put us as a county? What kind of position does that put us in?
Okay,
Otherwise, I think, other than that, I'll make some calls. See what I can get on that too. But otherwise, you'd like to have it at least by in 2 weeks or whatever, 13th?
I will likely, if we don't get something here, I'll probably move forward with the state starting next week.
Okay,
And that's, if you guys don't wanna have an action, that is perfectly okay. You guys do not have to have a findings. If you want to have a finding,
okay. And then the PSC would have a public meeting on that or whatever eventually, right? So if they wanted to challenge it, it could be done then too, or if any of us do. Okay, I think that's good.
Not doing
we're
anything?
tabling that for today.
Okay.
Okay, budget amendment to review and approval.
Yeah, we can do that first, that's fine. I need to amend the 2025 capital projects budget for engineering. We added an expense into the capital projects fund, and I don't have a line item for it, so I just need to have a line item in there to show that we spent the money in that line, and there's a budget there.
So you wanna add that engineering
Yes,
line?
yes, for 10,000. And it would increase the overall capital projects expenditure budget to 140,000. Which, it's not all gonna get spent, it's just, we don't have a budget, and so it looks like we overspent on engineering and,
Okay, I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. Hear any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved.
and then, if we wanna just do the transfer discussion. That's something that I don't want a blanket motion on this. I need you guys to look at it before we do anything. So our E911 fund is currently in the hole by that amount, the $25,341.23. We always run into this issue with E911 where we're spending more than what we're bringing in this one. And we get money from the state and we give part of that to the city. We get 911 fees from this NDACO. Part of it goes to the city. We only get so much and we spend so much, and it always comes out like this. So we need to, at the end of the year, just zero it out.
So we're always short this amount?
It's not that exact amount every year, it's different every year.
Okay.
It depends on what we get in and what we spend out of it, because there's other stuff that we pay for out of that. That's where the agreement with Mercer County for our E911 services comes out of. We get reimbursed by the city, part of that amount also, but what we spend and what we bring back in,
Aren't the same.
it doesn't amount. Yeah, it just doesn't work every year. So every year we at least bring it back up to zero. So we're not starting the year in a deficit.
In the red.
The other one is county agent. This is an every year occurrence also. We cannot levy enough to cover the budgeted expenses for the county agent's office. We only levy, I think I looked at it, like 40-some thousand. Or at least that's what the levy or the mill is worth right now. If we had a higher mill rate, we'd be okay, but we don't. We just don't. So what is spent out of that office is always way more than what they're able to bring in revenue from property taxes or whatever else the case may be. We do have to pay those expenses. We have an agreement with NDSU, and I think it's a Century Code thing too, where we have to pay for it. So we always take general fund money to bring the balance. The balance is a negative like 15,000 right now. I put 25,000 just as an option. If you want to do it at what it's currently at a negative, he'd be starting, or that office would be starting at 0 on January 1st. We should be getting tax money in, January, February. Or you can do more than that, so we're not sitting in this situation necessarily. It's kind of how you guys would like to handle that.
Are you short that amount around that every year then, or?
It just depends. It really depends on what the expenses are. It depends on the salary increases. So I mean, at the end of next year, it could be more because the secretary did receive the same raise as everybody else. Rick's salary, we pay, I think, half of it. That went up a little bit, I believe. It depends on if the rate of mileage goes up. If that goes up, the amount of mileage that he gets reimbursed by us goes up. Other expenses that may come out of there, health insurance, FICA, all the things.
I guess this would be a question for Rick, but I noticed we're paying his mileage. Does he get paid like when he's going to judging? Does he get paid from them also?
I don't know.
I guess that'd be a question that we need to ask
You'd
him.
have to check that.
So we're not paying mileage plus if he's judging for somebody.
I don't know.
Are they paying him?
I mean, he turns in his mileage sheet to us, and because we have to pay his expenses, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one.
Is that a fair question?
I think we pay it and get reimbursed.
We don't get reimbursed
Oh, we
anything.
don't?
No.
From what, when he's got kids from other counties, that's split somehow?
That would, when it's a 4-H thing, that
Mhm.
expense is different.
think he's still in.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious now too. 'cause
I guess I
thought
don't
the other
know.
counties reimbursed.
I don't know how that works, but we don't get paid by anybody else for anything that, unless he sells, like, there's certain things, we have like miscellaneous revenue in the extension budget, but the only revenue that we bring in is property taxes.
Okay, we'll answer that. So that was my question is, we pay the mileage and then
Yep.
say you drive up the Minot.
Yep.
Cause you go around judge all over the state. Are you being compensated by them also, or is that mileage just we pay?
What
Or
I turn in for the county here is when I'm taking my 4-H judging kids on judging contests. If I go and judge a fair, the fair that hires me pays my mileage. I don't turn that in here.
Okay, cause I thought on one of the bills it said judging on two of
I
them.
took my kids to Valley City.
Oh, to
North
take 'em to
Star.
judging.
I took kids down there to compete. Yes. Yeah. If I'm actually hired as the judge, that is on the county that's hiring me in.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was my question, I
Yeah,
guess.
that makes sense.
Yep.
When you take kids from other counties to these out-of-state deals, do they split mileage with you somehow?
When I take them to nationals,
Yeah,
basically we don't, like for the national range contest,
Right.
North Dakota Weed Control Association gives us some money to go. We get some money from NDSU, and basically the only expense that I turn in for is like my hotels and meals of my own personal side of it. But yes, we do get some state money and some donation money for those events on the national trips. I mean,
right.
the state winning team gets $1,000 just as a per
Travel stipend.
request. Yeah, for a state winning team, and we use that to help the kids out. But and I guess a lot of those too. I know you guys cut my travel budget back, which is fine. But I actually do claim a lot of that through the state, not the county. And so I'm not turning things in necessarily here either. But as far as the question of whether I, am getting compensated for doing the activity from some other place and here too, my county is the county. What I do outside of the county for I guess if I'm a hired service or whatever, that's totally on them.
Well, that answered my question.
Yep, no, we're
Appreciate
good.
it.
Yep.
Yep, thanks.
So I guess what I need from you is the okay, I mean, the amount on the first two, typically we just zero out the E911 one, and then we just leave it at 0. The county agent one though, it's, we have to fund what he's doing. I mean, if we continue to have the extension office in here, the county does agree, there is an agreement, it's a century code thing, we agree to pay expenses, you know, however that works. And the secretary in there is a county employee. She's not an NDSU extension. She is, but she isn't. She's the county's employee. So we need to know, I need to know how we want to take care of this, because we don't make enough in property taxes to cover that, because we can't increase the levy. Even when we didn't have the cap to worry about, we can't increase, we were at the max because that's what we were set at. If we just want to continue to, I don't know, essentially bail it out every year, we can continue to do that, but starting the year off on 0 is up to you guys. The 25,000 puts us above 0 by about 10,000. But because the budgeted expenditures are over double what the revenue is for that fund, it's going to be an issue continuously unless something would change drastically.
Well, I know this was, I think Rob and I had just come on, but when it was talked about the secretary going off of the weed board, and then we gave her the extra hours that we're paying for, I guess we never really questioned it at all. Do we need them extra hours? Just a question. You know, but she was doing the weed board stuff. That was paid for by the weed board, but it's also taxpayer money. But now she's still getting paid the same hours and not doing any weed board. Does that make sense?
We approved the budget for
Yep.
whatever's in there.
Well, I guess
Wherever
it's
it
just
goes.
something I'm looking at,
Something to think about.
think about next time. Yeah, I guess, do we do them separate?
I have it all on one sheet. Our auditors have never questioned all these transfers being on one sheet so long as it's been approved and it shows exactly where it's coming out of and where it's going into. That my question for you today, because we need to do this today, or you know, before January 1st, if 25,000 is enough.
We'll have to revisit that next year if
And
it's short.
that's perfectly fine. I don't have an issue with that.
It's
I just,
cancer for now, yeah.
if 25,000, it'll put them above 0, or I can do the exact amount that they're.
Whether it's this year, next year, it's the same money.
It is, yeah. And then the third one is capital projects into unorganized road. We are allowed to use capital projects money for road repair and maintenance of unpaved and paved roads. And because we've had some bigger repairs or construction, considering the large culvert purchase that we made, and to kind of bring us into our 75% threshold of carryover, we can take money from capital projects to put into unorganized road to help cover the cost of those road culverts. So that's all I have for transfers. I don't typically go into much detail with these because we don't need to, but I need your guys' thoughts and opinions on these also because you are the overall stewards of this money.
Well, I guess we gotta get it up.
Yeah, I'm okay with how they're presented.
Okay.
Need a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
And for the first time in I don't know how many years, county roads doesn't have to get money transferred into it, except for this one, like because it's below.
Okay. Let's go to court facilities funding review. And maybe approval.
So there's the grant, we didn't do it last year, but there's a court facilities grant. where we can apply for improvements to our court-related, the facility, the building itself, anything in the courtroom, is so long as it ties back to the court. Rebecca did some look into it. She filled this entire thing out. The courtroom itself, she's looking into getting some new tables for where the lawyers usually sit, or the, you know, there's 2 tables that she'd like to get. She wants them to have outlets in them because everybody has started to use their computers
Laptops.
during court. And there's no safe way to plug them in without stringing a bunch of extension cords across the floor, which creates a trip hazard. We don't need risk management filling out. And she'd like to get some new chairs because the ones that are in there are getting a little rough.
Rough on the edges.
And then I believe there was another additional table for the court, for her area. Overall, the amount that the county would have to pay out is roughly $200 and some. We put in for the grant, we pay the full amount, and they reimburse us for 75%, I believe it
And that's
is.
tables and chairs.
That's tables and chairs. So everything that's included in that packet is what she is requesting or what we would apply for. And then we would get reimbursed other than like
And
25%.
we normally, whatever we ask for in this grant. we
We've
get.
done it.
We get.
There's been a few where we've had to cut a couple of it. I mean, I know we did the lights for the courtroom, the clerk of court's office, and the judge's chamber got partially paid for with this grant. And maybe not the lights, but the windows. We didn't do one last year because we didn't have any projects that anybody had kind of thought of at the time. It can also be used for security features in the building. whenever
So
you-
the $283.48 is the exact amount we need, or? do
That
we-
would be the county's cost. The
There's a
total
total.
dollar amount is the $1,000.
$1133.90.
Yep.
It's not the first time that went down.
That's why we can't have this.
So Rebecca did all the work on this one. She brought it to me. I just had mentioned to her, do you have anything that you could think of that we could improve upon for court facilities? And that's what she came up with, because there's a lot of changes she would like to see made in there because they need to be updated. And a lot of it is the electrical, the outlets, the extension cords running across the floor. People are moving. We don't want anybody to trip and fall. Liability concerns with that.
Okay, so the motion we want is to pay the $1333.90.
We need
And
to
then
just
plus the
approve the
grant?
court facilities
Approve the
Grant.
application.
Okay,
And so then the court, the state court has a committee and they review these applications. So this isn't a guarantee that we're going to get this, but if we don't get this, she would still like you to consider doing the updates or the improvements.
I'll make a motion, we approve the grant.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Let's go, we'll save that. Calendar till last.
One more on the county deal when you guys finish up with the new hire and stuff that I brought up earlier. I'd like to mention that too.
Do you want to do that now?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Since we're training the new hire in and getting them going on everything, I also was gonna bring it up if we wanted him, his first task every day would be the snow removal up here. I know right now we got Keith doing it, he's doing a great job, but he'd have more
Hands-on.
hands-on, and then Keith can still do the mowing and all that stuff in the summertime. So I was gonna bring that up, but I forgot. So that's up to you guys. But I just thought, save a little money since we will have an extra hand right now.
You're the road superintendent. It's up to you.
And that would include the parking lot and then,
Everything.
in front of the Golden Age and stuff?
Yep, everything.
Because you
And that
could
would
run
be
the
his
skid steer
task.
then.
That way it's right at 7 o'clock before anybody gets here.
What works for you?
Yep.
We'll go along with that.
Okay.
Okay, on the board appointments, we have a list of here which, when their terms are up,
Tomorrow is their last day.
They have to-
Whoever's turns
Okay,
ended.
go ahead.
I have 2 applications here for planning and zoning. And then I have 2 applications here, one for weed board and then this one on the top here, she's good with any board, but I know she had kind of mentioned weed board. I think when I had spoken to her, she had mentioned, so technically 2 for each. And those are the only applications I received.
Okay, this one with Beth Kohler, they just moved to the community, what, 3 years ago or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
They moved a house in out here in Andy Rios.
They're up on 33rd.
Yep, exactly between Andy Reels and Wade Stagley.
Right on the county road, her house is. Her and her fiance.
Yep.
And they have 3 kids, I think, 2 or 3 younger kids, yeah.
And which one is she applying for?
She'll
It doesn't
she'll
mark
take
that.
weed board or
Oh, okay.
planning and zoning. She wants to get involved in the community. She'd called me a while back here and she'd like to get more involved, former law enforcement and they're getting more involved. Yeah, she was law enforcement in Borton County. Both of them were, I believe.
And then Kendall Price she would like to be considered again.
Was she the other one?
She's the second one. Yeah, there's 2 of them there, sorry.
Yep. And Kendall had put in last time
Yep,
and then we picked Dee Dee Fisher.
Forstner.
Or formerly Fisher or whatever, and so both of them are very good applicants. They would both live in that area, so weed board would have to move things around a little bit, cause somebody'd have to have Linda's spot.
Well,
No,
Dee
that-
Dee
that's not
has
that.
Is
Linda's.
that-
Yeah, Dee Dee's got Linda's.
Gene, is he aware that he needs to reapply?
I sent him
If-
the stuff.
okay.
Yep.
She emailed him and I texted him also.
And has Byron out
I haven't heard from
Contacted.
anybody.
anyone? I guess he's extremely ill.
Well, supposedly he's moving.
Oh, that's I heard. He
I
hasn't
hadn't
moved
heard
yet. though,
anything.
So, okay,
I haven't
okay.
heard anything,
He's
so.
not contacting you.
No.
Okay.
But he's not up till 2
I
years?
think his is next year.
Next year?
I'll have to look at the, well,
So there
Lee's
may
got
be
it
one,
there.
possibly if he moved,
We might
maybe
do
one
both of
more
those
opening.
anyway.
Yeah, okay. So we could fill that one in.
yeah, I guess I haven't heard anything. But those 2 did send it, well, I talked to Kendall and she said she'd still be interested, so
Yeah.
I brought the application back. And then planning and zoning are those 2 there that
So do we
Rob
wanna
has.
nominate them separately? I guess I'd make a motion to go with Kendall Price on the weed board for the Gene Gross's spot.
Okay. We'll hold the other one in reserve, cause it sounds like we might need it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I guess the only question is she's not in the district and we still technically have districts, but we have done at-large positions, so that's,
Well, and I think what we could do when I looked at it, Darren Cargus could go to Gene's spot, and Darren is at large, so that would put Kendall at the at-large spot.
She'd be the at-large.
Is there a deadline on on the applications?
there,
Tomorrow.
well, the terms
Tomorrow.
expire tomorrow.
Okay, so maybe Gene will.
Officially.
Well, like I say, he was
Apply.
emailed and texted.
I mean,
Okay, yeah, okay.
We said
we've
today,
we've advertised, and after the last meeting, it's been advertised, and we've always done it where we appoint them on the last meeting of the year, unless there are no applicants and we have to reapply or re-advertise. But-
right,
And also the social service board.
And that was, you had that, and then I'm assuming it's one of the commissioners, and since you have that as your portfolio technically.
So
I get along with Mo.
You need to reapply.
I need to reapply. I guess if I'm.
I don't know how that social services one works. That one's different
Yeah,
because
that-
they
that-
have to have a commissioner on there.
Yeah, that one, you were appointed to.
appointed.
You were appointed.
But we do have
to
like
it,
a
and
county
your
at
term
large.
goes in, so we need to reappoint.
That one's different. It's confusing because there is a citizen at large position on there, but we also have a commissioner position on there, but every 3 years they have to redo it because what if you're not elected or you quit or whatever.
Shouldn't he have a campaign party?
Well,
I'm not buying
I
yard
think he'll
posters.
pass. Well, maybe he'll get even, probably.
Yeah.
Need a motion to approve Rob for the social service.
Well, I have a motion right now to.
We got a motion
put,
for Kendall.
Kendall to that
That's
weed
on the
board.
floor.
So do we want to approve
Okay.
I'll
that?
second that one.
Oh, okay. All in favor of that one?
Aye.
Okay, that was approved. And
I'll make a
Aye.
motion to appoint Rob again as, social
social
services board.
service. Okay, I'll second that.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And the other one?
Okay, we've got 2 applicants for planning and zoning.
Okay, we got Cassie Smith, who's been on it for 1 year now, or maybe a little
Year and a
over.
half, a little over. She filled Corey Hintz's spot after he resigned in 24, I think.
And then the other one's Elaine Dahl, who, is getting involved in the community and lives here now too, so, definitely another 2 good candidates, but I guess I would like to, I'd move to reappoint Cassie Smith to that position.
Okay, we
I'll
have-
second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
I,
Aye. Okay.
like there, if somebody gets off, like this 2 years ago, we had several get
Yeah,
off.
keep those applications
Oh,
on.
yeah.
there.
We'd
and
have Lane
that's-
on board.
Typically what I do is I'll leave them in the folder and when we have an opening, I will contact them and ask them, are you still interested? If they are, great, I'll put it into the for the meeting when we have to appoint and if not.
And I
then
think most of the planning and zoning meetings I've been at, Cassie's been at all of them. The other thing I like is Lane is attending the majority of the commissioner meetings, so he's learning the ropes too.
He'll get the
pretty
ground
good.
running someday.
Quits wrecking stuff.
Is there anybody else to appoint?
We had no
That-
We have
applications.
an,
Soils?
so there were no applicants for soils, and that's one of those committees that they don't meet regularly, like water resource or planning and zoning or weed board. It's only if you have to reclassify the soils in the county, but they do technically have terms. I didn't get any applications.
Eugene and way over.
John-
there
John
was-
Wynan.
John Wynan was the other one.
Also for the water management board, we have.
Linda Price, Lauren did reach out to her to see if she would fill out, I'm sure she'd be willing to do it again, but we do have this policy now where we're doing applications, so I'd like to get a for sure that she still wants to do it. But she did reach out to her, so I'm just kinda waiting to hear. And I said, if nothing else, we can do it at the
Well,
January
we
meeting.
have to know by tomorrow from what I heard.
Well, her term would expire
Earlier in this
tomorrow, and she
meeting,
could
yeah.
reapply, and we could appoint
Do
it
it
in
in January.
January. We did that 2 years ago. We had 2 people that were expiring on planning and zoning, and we opened it up for applicants or people interested, and we ended up appointing 2 different people that weren't interested, so, or that were, but were not the ones that.
So I guess we'll just wait, if Linda applies, and if not, we,
Open it up.
And we have the county coroner, term expires.
We did that one last meeting. We took
Did we?
care of that. Yep,
Oh, good.
yep.
Okay, board appointments taken care of for now?
Yep.
Okay. What else do we
The 2026 calendar, if you wanna take a look at that. Thank you.
okay, I just got a text from Beth Kohler, she'd be interested in the soils board as well. And there's nothing saying she couldn't be on 2 boards.
Is that the one?
The soils, there's 2, that's Eugene Yonzer and John Wynan.
No, but is that our extra one from weed?
Yeah, yeah.
Just,
Like I
Let's
said,
approve her.
they don't meet unless we need to reclassify the soils, but if we need to fill the spot, absolutely, if she's interested, we can do that. I mean,
we've actually
it's
got an
up to you.
application for her,
Yeah,
so.
So I'll make a motion to appoint Beth Kohler as the, one of the soils board.
okay.
Second.
We'd still need one more in there if we.
Yep.
Right.
And I'll contact Eugene Well, I call John too.
Maybe Lane.
I believe he
wants
lives
to
in
be on
Mercer County now, doesn't he? Is he in Oliver?
John Winer?
Couple hundred feet.
But he probably farms more in Mercer County than anywhere.
Yeah, he does have some around that Tisbury country too, but.
I'll contact both of them, see if,
it. Okay, we have motion
and a
and
second.
a
And a
second.
second, yep.
And I forget who it was now.
Beth Kohler.
Okay, to be on the soils committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, calendar you suggested we would talk about next.
So I know we talked about the dates, you know, a month or so ago. But I know there's probably maybe a couple of conflicts come up since then.
So March 10th, I will be down in New Orleans for a Farmers Union conference, so I can't make that one work.
I would suggest on that one, could we change that March meeting to March 5th?
Worked that early in the month.
That, I mean, it's the first week of the month, you know, bills wise, we might not have as many. And it's payroll week, so.
I
Which
do
isn't,
favor that.
if that works. I know we were talking about trying not to do too many Thursday meetings so people aren't confused. And if there's court, but usually court is the second week. So we should be okay with the 5th.
Okay. April 7.
Okay, I gotta move that one too. Okay, April,
January, February, we're okay?
I'm good. So,
The only one with January, I think Alice says there's that big siren thing, so she might not be able to.
January.
January. January 13th, the siren radio system is getting implemented, but
Yeah, I'll
That's
probably have to be at that one.
not
Unless
to say that
it's the afternoon, unless the person could do it in the morning,
the meeting in the morning.
because she said the training was in the afternoon.
I mean, we've done morning meetings before, but I just hate to move the meetings around too much to get people confused if we can't help
yeah,
it.
I'm
but-
doing that. Cause April 7th, I won't be able to make that one either. So I'm good with
I don't
just about
wanna,
any day.
I don't wanna push that one to the 9th in case there's court that week. I don't know what the court calendar looks like yet, but it's possible.
Okay, how
We'll
about
be
the
able to call
14th?
in.
Yeah, I can call in too.
You're gonna be away vacationing in Caribbean,
Yeah, I wish.
Alaska?
No, I'll be. Yeah,
Okay, you won't be here. Okay.
I just can't
But
make
you'll
it. Yeah,
call
I got
in,
another
okay.
board meeting.
Do you wanna call in for that one, or do we wanna
I-
move it all together? Cause we can move that one,
I sure can. I can call in, or we can, if
We
you wanna
could-
go to the 14th or
we
whatever.
could try for the 9th, and if court changes that, we could move it to the 14th. I mean, I just don't, when you push it further back in the month,
Okay,
we run into
9th
bill
won't work
pay
either.
issues.
I'm still at that meeting.
Okay.
14th works for me. Actually better than the 7th.
Okay?
Okay.
I love changing these dates around, just everything I was against.
Well, we're doing it now before the calendar's been approved, so it's not as big of a deal.
You know, I won't be here for the February meeting.
Should we vote on that?
No.
Oh,
Okay, May meeting, we're okay? June? July?
I mean, unless you wanna push the May one back to the 12th, since we seem to be pushing them back a little bit further into the month. That's payroll week though.
any, all the rest of them won't work for me.
Can we just postpone this calendar so Dave can have his input and then the 13th of January, you two can present something? Cause you got more meetings every month, I know you do. Multiple meetings sometimes.
Well, those are the main ones that I gotta be at.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we can keep going. The 5th is fine if it works for you guys.
Of May,
Yep.
June 6th,
June 4th.
She's got June
or
4th.
June 4th, you're
Yeah.
right.
The only reason it's not on that Tuesday the 9th is because that's election day, and there is no way we can have a meeting on election day.
That would be challenging.
That would be impossible.
Then July 7th.
Then you could come over here and take minutes. July, is that good?
Works for me.
August,
The 11th.
Mhm.
Works for me.
okay. September, we have it the 8th, which is the day after Labor Day, which is not that big of a deal for me, but bill pay wise,
And the 29th, why?
the 29th I have on there, that is not budget wise this year. We learned a lot of lessons. The budget hearing we need to have on a separate day. That's not a regular commission meeting. And at that same meeting, we can go through the line by line on the budget versus the regular meeting.
So
So,
that meeting won't get so long.
yes, we don't need another 6-hour meeting. So that's why I did that one. October 6th,
Good?
November 10th, because election day is 3rd. We're closed on the 11th, but the 10th should potentially work. Unless you wanna move it to a different day, but I'm good with that. Okay, December 8th, and then the 29th, and that's the year-end meeting like this one. So. With those changes to the March and April meeting, are we good with all the rest of them?
Okay, can I hear a motion to approve the commission calendar with the 2 changes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I will make those changes and I'll get everybody an updated copy.
Okay.
And if something would come up with
We'll still work with it.
possible conflict. we'll just
Okay,
adjust.
courthouse generators,
Okay, so the one quote you have in your packet is for the additional work that needs to be done in order for the generator that we purchased to make the entire building run in case of an outage versus just the sheriff's department and board. So
And the
that's,
generator is big enough?
the generator is big enough. They came out and did look at it. They just need to do some additional connections to integrate it is what that's kind of what they told me. They came out and did some work, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago to see if it would actually work. And they said, yes, it's big enough that it should be fine. This is the additional cost.
What's the time period? Are they gonna need a whole day? 'Cause the
That,
courthouse will have to be closed.
yeah, that part I didn't get from them, and it could be until like the end of the month. But they said they're going to try to coordinate with us to minimize disruption to courthouse operations. So if we can find a day that works better, where we could be without power, I have to work with them and coordinate that before we can do anything. But I need approval to actually do the work before we can plan.
I would think the actual time they'd have to shut off the power would be minimal. They could have everything.
I don't
up
think
till
it
the
would
final
be as much
connection.
as this,
Yeah.
the first time. It shouldn't be as long, but if they could come in the afternoon
'Cause
versus
most
the
of their work
entire
would be
day.
right in there, right, by the
Yeah.
breaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know, and if it's 20 below or whatever when they come, you don't want everything shut down for that long.
Preferably not.
No,
So they'll close the roads so they can't get it. That's it.
Yeah,
Close the roads after they get here, then they can't move till they're done.
just too bad we didn't have better, that communication, so when they did. it, they
yeah,
could've done
I
it all.
know when I talked to them, they said it was for the whole building, and maybe they just didn't realize that what was hooked up wasn't the whole building, and yeah, so. And then the other quote that I got from them was a maintenance contract where they come out, and they do an annual visit, and it's $750
Per year?
per year.
And then that'd be, they run the generator, or is
They
that,
come and they take
is
a
it-
look at everything, and I'm guessing they run it to see how it's going. It's yearly preventative maintenance service.
so is the generator getting started at once a month, like a lot of them, or?
Ours at home does automatically.
Yeah, I'm assuming this one does too.
That
I
it
can
just
ask.
starts for an hour or something?
But
This
this,
is-
we have to sign up
this is-
for more than, for
this
how
is the
long and
quote
that
that
service
they
comes
sent.
with.
Is that a 1 year?
It's an annual, so if we would approve it, it'd be once a year they come out.
I think we should for that first one, anyhow. Yeah, if everything works fine, then
And
we,
we can still cancel it.
yeah.
And on that first page you have on the back, it shows all the services that we would get with that annual.
Yeah. 1 year, make sure all the bugs are out.
Okay, so first we have to approve the bid, right? For 10,000
Right,
60,
405.
yeah, 40506. I'll make that motion to approve that estimate for, get the generator up to snuff in the courthouse for the whole courthouse.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 And then,
And I will double check with them, I don't want us tied into it for, every year they auto renew with us, say we would like a 1
It's a
year.
1 year contract.
well, it says quote term 1 year right here.
But I
So it
don't,
should-
just in case they try to do like an auto renewal and send us a bill after
Okay,
this.
so hold off on this one.
Well, we can approve it if that's what you guys are good
Okay.
with, and I'll just verify with them that we only want it for 1 year.
Okay, can you hear a motion to,
So moved.
I'll second for a 1 year term.
motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved.
Yes, she wants that one.
Thank you.
Do you need this one too?
I have a copy of that. That was for your
That was in
records.
your folder.
Do we have anything else on the agenda that we've covered everything on the agenda, haven't we? Any report, anything from Minnesota or nothing?
No, we're Minnesota Power, so,
When do you plan on starting? Any idea right now?
we're targeting about June right now, June.
June?
Yep, after the spring road thaws and everything else of the road restrictions, so.
Okay, so as far as the one out by the Earhart Bittner quarter section, everything's worked out with the state? Are you
no,
still
we
on
have
that?
not- We have to come to you guys for a building permit. That's probably the only update in the next, month, meetings. We'll probably be coming to you guys, you and the planning and zoning, just to give you what the plans are out there and where we're at, in starting times, so. We're working through the easements with both the Vagleys, the Earharts, and Bittners, and we're just down to the final signatures on that stuff now. And that's to go down the quarter section, and then we'd be looking to use your guys' section line where we come out on that quarter, up until the other section line at the corner.
You're talking the east-west one?
Correct.
Yeah.
But we had engineered plans for that and stuff too that we'll share within the documents. We'll get it to you guys hopefully at least a week before that, commissioners meeting.
Okay, sounds good.
Been going well so far, so. And then we're working with more engineering. You guys might see them out on 34th, Avenue Southwest. They're just, they're gonna be doing the road improvement engineering for us, and if there's any need of turn lanes on 25 or anything like that. So they're out surveying today, checking culverts, checking road, depth over culverts, all that good stuff.
Should we make it mandatory that somebody from Moore Engineering just live in the county to stay up on everything?
They've been real good to work with so far. They hitting our timelines that we want.
Well, the county's been happy with them, B&I's working with them, so it's good.
Yeah, it's been a good natural fit since you guys work with them and trust them so far.
Lane, any update?
I got no.
Okay, so this is the last meeting of the year, and it's normally for the last 18 years, it's been a half-hour meeting just to approve the final payments for the year, and to wish everybody a happy new year. And one final question, how much of a deficit approximately are we going to be operating under?
Don't have that right in front of me.
Jeez, Lee. I guess they're happy new year.
Yeah. Give me.
One question I had for you guys was that generator hookup, would that be under your courtroom grant? That additional one?
Maybe a small percentage.
Okay.
Could be.
But the deadline to apply is tomorrow, so.
Never mind. Just something I thought of when you were talking.
It's a good idea.
You're gonna have to give me a little bit here.
Tell me what's wrong with them. You can read that in your free time.
My secretary read it to me on the way to Grafton.
You'll be through that.
Really?
East is worse than here.
Yeah. Well, they're not gonna chance the snow over there again. Scrapping.
So in other words, I better get on the road.
East this morning, we got about 3 inches of rough stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sort of border, all the way over the lake.
Yeah.
It was raining.
Something coming again?
Nothing wants to work right now. You put me on the spot and now my computer doesn't want to cooperate.
We still got tomorrow, for your half-hour meeting. that you can have.
Have another one?
Before we have more suggestions, I'm gonna have to hit the gavel.
Start getting people with your gavel pretty soon. I like the cup, Dave.
Yeah. I stole it from the shop yesterday while I was watching them terrorize the building. Well,
I'm good.
yep, I'm good.
Nothing I'm aware of.
Okay, thanks,
You
you
too.
too, Pat.
Okay. Thanks, you too, Pat.
Okay. General fund. And this is not including the carryover balance. With the carryover balance, we would be just fine. General fund has a $243,000, $243,269.23 deficit. Which does not include our fund balance carryover. With the fund balance carryover, we would be no deficit.
That includes the other deputy.
That would include the salary. We'd probably have to adjust for benefit, possibly. We might have worked that in there. County road. Is a $2,214,366 deficit. Granted, a lot of those budgeted expenditures, we don't typically use. Actually, let's be a little bit more realistic, because it's not actually an expenditure on this one. We have what we call the balance of funds with the road and bridge and the special roads. So what happens with those is it looks like an expenditure, but that money is just getting dumped into our county road fund. So it's not really a deficit or an expenditure. So it looks like it on paper, but it's not actually. So with that, if we take
That's like that account that we just have, like we're pulling out it for the chip seal project.
Kind of. It's a 1.8 million deficit is what we have budgeted. But there again, a lot of that, some of this stuff we have to kind of account for, and we tried to balance it as best we could. Some of that the county road one is a hard one to budget for. But I will say this. This is the first year we've not had to bail out the county road fund. Because we have been doing what we do, the balance of transfers at the end of every month with the levy money that comes in. But also because the spending has not been insane. So this year, as far as that goes, is very good. And with carryover, we should be okay.
We don't wanna run out of carryover.
No, we don't want to, but there's only so much we're legally allowed to carry over every year also.
Right.
And we do have the prairie dog funding, which we should be tapping into when it comes to some of this stuff. And then as far as everything else, capital projects is showing a deficit of about 25,000, but we typically never spend everything in capital projects anyways. Let's see. E911, I kind of talked to you about that situation. The emergency fund does not have a deficit because we don't plan to spend the money unless we absolutely have to. Extension county
Very
agent,
short.
like I said, is going to be, that's a roughly $73,000 deficit. Based on what we legally can bring in, I mean, levy wise, that's all we can bring in and what they are budgeting. And then weed board has a $75,000 deficit for what they're projecting to spend. And we did take out, I know you guys had talked about taking out a bunch of line items, so those did get taken out of there, but that is also. And other than that, those are the only funds that we really have that would be our,
So when you're talking a deficit though, is that for the chemical that's gonna be purchased? And then does that include the money coming back in from the state for the chemical?
the revenue that we projected, it looks like it's a little low, and I think part of that might have been because the cost share reimbursement didn't get included in that. For this year though, we estimated 20,000 we'd get back from the state, and we only so far have received 5,800 based on what's in our accounting. But 24 we received 33,000 back. So I don't know if it's because we haven't turned in for the reimbursement yet for the rest of it, because we get reimbursement for spraying also, and I don't think that's been turned in yet.
Well, who would do that then?
Right.
Typically the weed control officer does. And then Rick came down yesterday to get some of the information to turn it in, so he must be assisting the weed board at the moment to turn that in.
Cause he's
I don't
familiar
know.
with it.
So he just came down and got information. I don't know anything about it, so. And then we estimate 15,000 for cost share
From the
revenue.
producer.
Sometimes it's more. It just depends on what they order every year. This year we brought in 20,000. We'd always, revenues, we like to shoot a little bit low and hope for more. So then it doesn't look great on paper, but when it comes down to the end of the year, it's not terrible. But if you would like to know current fund balances as of today, I can give those to you because I do have those also. Do you got time or do you want to go? You tell me.
I'm ready to hit the road, but if you guys wanna hear more.
No.
Okay.
Good, you did good.
If that's all you want, because I did put all this together before the meeting this morning. I wasn't anticipating you asking me, but hey, I was prepared.
Yes. Meeting adjourned.
Happy New Year to everybody.